Being a YouTuber is boring. Seriously, if you think you're going to become a YouTuber and immediately be signing massive sponsorship deals, be getting flown out to places all over the world to be featured in podcasts, and really just live a life with little work and a lot of play, this video is your reality check. I mean, all that stuff is definitely possible as a YouTuber, but the reality is that 90% of what you'd be doing on a day-to-day basis is kind of mundane. It's kind of boring, kind of like work, like a job. So in this video, I'm going to give you a realistic glimpse into what it's like to be a professional full-time YouTuber based on my own experience. And for those of you scratching your head, this isn't my main channel. My main channel is called Mike Nardi. It's got about 120,000 subscribers. I've been creating content over there for about 4 years. And as of January of this year, I quit my full-time job to do YouTube full-time. So that's where I'm getting all the insights in this video from. So we're gonna start with the thing that probably takes up about 90% of my time as a YouTuber. And coincidentally, these things tend to be the hardest, most repetitive, and most lonely parts of being a YouTuber. Thinking of video ideas, writing scripts, and editing videos. Those things, at least for me, a solo creator who doesn't have any employees or staff, are the least glamorous parts of the job. Every morning, I wake up, I fire up my computer, check my notebook for what my tasks and goals are for the day, then sink into the same old routine of researching content ideas, handwriting scripts, and planning videos. Then I spend the rest of my day usually editing whatever I have left in my production queue. These are all solo activities, and for me, a big part of being able to be creative comes from getting into a flow state, getting into the zone. So I don't really listen to music when I'm doing this stuff. I don't answer my phone. I'm not chatting with friends. I don't even talk or pay much attention to my fiance when I'm in the zone doing these things. It's totally solo and it's kind of lonely. Honestly, it's tough to do and it might not be for everyone, especially if you're someone who thrives in a social type of work environment. The other thing that comes with all that, writing scripts, editing, researching, is that it's kind of bad for your health. It's very possible to spend an entire day stuck to your chair in your office editing a video, and then when you're done, you just immediately switch to another task without moving at all. So for me, as a YouTuber who works from home, I don't have an office or studio, I'm just cooped up in my 12-foot by 9-foot office every day. I know that sounds like a first world problem, not having a commute, working from home, being in an office, but the reality is if I'm not conscious about what I'm doing, I could end the day with like 900 total steps taken on my Fitbit or on my iPhone. That is not enough movement to lead a healthy life. So for me, I go to the gym or I go golfing. That kind of helps me solve that problem. But for a lot of people, they're not able to solve that problem or they're not aware of it, and it can hurt your health. Another reality related to being a YouTuber is the whole it can be lonely side of things. Now, before I get into this part, I'm going to just say I love being a YouTuber, and the freedom it's afforded me in other aspects of my life have actually helped me strengthen relationships with friends and family and myself. It's been great. I love it. I wouldn't trade it for the world. But I know this for a fact that for a lot of people, being a YouTuber, a solo creator, is a very isolating gig, especially if you're already an introvert. Like, think of it like this. The person paying you when you become a content creator rarely or never interacts with you. Like, take YouTube AdSense as an example. Other than the rare time that I'm chatting with someone from YouTube support through YouTube Studio, you really don't have any interaction with anyone. You have no one to talk to about how much you're getting paid, question your pay, ask for a raise, nothing. You create content and money just shows up every month. And I know that might sound like it's nice, but you don't really have much control over that. Whereas in a job, you can go talk to your boss, book a meeting, work on your career progression, things like that. That doesn't exist with YouTube. Also, nobody really cares about you. Nobody cares if you succeed. Nobody cares if you can pay the bills. Nobody cares if you're making the money you need to make. All things that, if you have a good job and a nice boss and great HR department, you normally have career pathing meetings with your employer where they're talking about, your future. They're trying to look out for you. They're trying to help you down the path. If you're someone who thrives in that environment and needs that type of hand-holding or interaction, that just doesn't exist when you're a YouTuber. Also, do you have a work husband or a work wife, a work best friend? Get used to being your own work best friend as a YouTuber, because there's no one else here in my office with me. And for most small creators, that's the case, at least until you build a team and get an office, if that's even possible for you. Channel sponsors, they're usually the people you interact with most, and they're usually hitting you up via email. And the rare time that you actually identify a sponsor that might be a good fit, maybe if you're lucky, they'll turn on their cameras for the 20-minute or 30-minute Zoom calls you have to hash out the deal. That's the extent of the human interaction when it comes to the day-to-day of being a YouTuber. And again, I'm not trying to make this out to sound like something that I hate doing. I actually love it. But I do know a lot of people who might struggle in this type of a situation. So I'm just putting it out there, keeping it real, because it's like this. And I know it doesn't really have to be, like you can hire people, you can build a team, you can do those types of things. But realistically, being able to do that and grow YouTube in that way takes a lot of money and probably a lot of time. Like for most new creators like me who are just starting from scratch and had no experience, it could take 5 or 10 years before you're at that point. 5 or 10 years of being totally alone, doing it yourself. You got to think before you get into this, is that something you can stick with and manage and be happy doing? Seriously, think about it. So yeah, YouTube is boring. Your days are filled with mostly boring, repetitive stuff. There's also a lot of awesome stuff too, for sure. Awesome stuff that for me makes it all worthwhile. But that's a topic for another video. I really hope this one gave you some helpful insights, and if you watch this and you're still like, you know what, yeah, I want to do YouTube, it's what I want to do, I totally encourage you to do it. It's been life-changing for me, and it can be life-changing for you too. So anyways, I wish you a ton of luck. Till next time, cheers guys.